Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraid. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीमद् भागवतम Canto 4, Chapter 22, verse 31. Brashyati anusmritischittam jnanabhramsha smritikshaye tadrodham kavayah prahur atmapahnavam atmapahnavam atmanaha. When one deviates from his original consciousness, he loses the capacity to remember his previous position or recognize his present one. When remembrance is lost, all knowledge acquired is based on a false foundation. When this occurs, learned scholars consider that soul is lost. The living entity or the soul is ever existing and eternal. It cannot be lost, but learned scholars say that it is lost when actual knowledge is not working. That is the difference between animals and human beings. According to less intelligent philosophers, animals have no soul. But factually, animals have souls. Due to the animals' gross ignorance, however, it appears that they have lost their souls. Without the soul, a body cannot move. That is the difference between a living body and a dead body. When the soul is out of the body is called dead. The soul is said to be lost when there is no proper knowledge exhibited. Please see the word exhibited. Meaning in action, it should be seen. Our original consciousness is Krishna consciousness because we are part and parcel of Krishna. When this consciousness is misguided and one is put into the material atmosphere which pollutes the original consciousness, one thinks that he is a product of the material elements. What does this mean? What are the implication of this statement? One thinks that he is a product of the material elements. Meaning?
That life has come from matter.
Okay. What is the implication for us? Practical.
Sense gratification, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yeah, understanding body as me.
Yeah. So we think that we are come from this material elements, and so when there is anything that happens to the body, then we get very badly affected by that body and things connected with the body. That's material attachment. Um, because we think that we have come from this. We think that we are this body, or we think that we are, yeah, life has come from matter or whatever, right? So, because the body is just made of material elements. But why are we so attached to this body? Just because we think that we are the body. So we are misguided. So the original consciousness is polluted. And we are thinking we are this body. And actually, you know, realizations. My mother has been unwell on and off for like many months now. Yesterday also she had some issue, and I was just seeing that because obviously like she's very late, she's come into Krishna conscious very late, and she's not a seeker, she's not a philosopher. She cannot, I mean, at this age also cannot understand too much. And the body is troubling her like crazy, and she's just so troubled. And I was thinking, saying that it's just the body, but the body is designed in such a way that when the Atma is inside the body, the the whatever the body is experiencing is actually very difficult for the Atma to as in be in that situation and like be part of that situation. For example, she had giddiness, and because the body is now gotten into some trouble, Atma is very deeply affected. And we think that we are actually that I am having giddiness, that my head is whirling. Yeah, it's my head. Yes, my head is whirling, but I am not whirling. But we can't make the differentiation. There's so much of pain that we go through, so much of pain because we are deeply connected, attached to this body. So we have to become dhira. So I was just reading Bhagavatam sometime back. So it says there's one verse which says Anuraktaha dhiraha. Anuraktaha, those who are firmly attached, and those who are dhira, they can uh, sahasaiva, sahasa eva um, deha adishu vidopahyati. So deha adi, right, which is anything connected to the body, they can just immediately sahasa eva, they can just quickly, all of a sudden, give up all this and go take sannyas. So the important thing here is anuraktaha dhiraha. So I was thinking, why not only anuraktaha? Why not only those who are firmly attached to Krishna? Because one who is firmly attached to Krishna should also become a dhira, sober, not affected by this material body, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma. Hmm. Actually, we can talk about all higher topics, but if we have not yet transcended this material consciousness, then what are we going to appreciate those topics? Because then we are going to just see them or hear them from bodily concept. That is why it is not recommended to enter into you know the rasa panchadhyaya and all that, because we can't we can't uh, whatever we hear, we only connect it with the body because we are in bodily consciousness. Mm. So this is so important that actually we have to transcend this. We have to transcend this body. So one should not actually, and I was thinking, saying that why can't we just transcend the body by knowledge? By knowledge, just knowledge, meaning I've heard, we've all heard a zillion times that I'm not this body. Why can't I just accept that knowledge and just transcend? Saying that, okay, Nistraygunya Bhavajan, okay, I've risen above this body. Why is it not so easy?
Because we forget that knowledge.
Okay, we forget that knowledge, okay. What else?
Because we are so much used to experiencing it and then realize things.
Yeah, I mean, we one is that, the other is we are so attached. We're so attached to this body that we just can't remember. We can't just disconnect ourselves from this thought process that we are not this body. We can that we are this body. We cannot disconnect ourselves from that. We just keep thinking we are the body all the time. So just by knowledge, it's not possible. So what is required? Somebody needs to pull us out. Some situation has to happen to pull us out. What is that situation? What kind of situation will help us transcend this material body?
That continuous fire of devotional service, right? Like what was explaining yesterday. That the
Yeah, possible, but for that we have to be in that such association 24 hours.
yeah.
We can't do that when we are sitting at home, right?
Hmm.
In the middle of our work and this and that and all that, right? Very difficult.
Yeah.
So what is the alternative?
When we follow Guru Acharya's principle.
No, when we go through major suffering in life. When we go through major suffering in life where we become helpless, we are pushed to transcend material consciousness. And I was thinking that it's so powerful, this suffering is so powerful that there is no equivalent to this. I mean, there might be some very few fortunate souls who are just by Shravanam, they are able to transcend, very, very pure souls, because they've already made that kind of progress in their past life. So they're just simply hearing, oh, okay, I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. And repeated hearing, they just transcend. Of course, they're chanting, etc., sincerely, because they're already lot pure. They're very pure. So they very easily transcend. But for most of us, just this knowledge is of no use. We hear the knowledge, then again we see something that we are attracted to, we just fall. So material sufferings actually are a very powerful way of pulling us out. So of course, it's not that we should pray for suffering, but uh, if you can transcend without all that arrangement, then it's okay. So even if there is suffering, then we should feel that we are blessed, because now we are being forced to transcend. We're being forced to transcend, which otherwise we would not. Like in Shastra, it says that if this Chitraketu, not Chitraketu, who is that? Who has a bad son? Oh, Vena's father. What was his name?
Maharaj Prthu. Oh, sorry, son.
What is his name? Vena's father. Forget. So he thinks in connection with his son. He thinks that, see, if there's a good son, then the father will become attached to the son, and then
Anga,
family
Anga.
affairs. Anga. Yeah, thank you. Anga. Right. So he'll think that, oh, son is very nice. Become attached to the son, etc. So then Anga thinks that no, it's okay. And this Vena is so bad that it is forcing my material detachment, forcing detachment from family affairs. And then he leaves the palace and goes off. So materially, if we are not in favorable situation, please understand that it's a great blessing, especially if we are serious about Krishna consciousness. If we are serious about achieving Krishna in this life, then it's very, very, we should look at ourselves and feel blessed. Because see, why blessed? Because one is anyway, it's going to help us detach from these attachments. And most importantly, Krishna is there with us throughout. Krishna is there with us. He's holding our hands. He's hand holding us. He's taking us through the situation. And then he will bring us out strong and, detached and, very firmly fixed. So you have to understand. Otherwise, this consciousness is so difficult to overcome. My mother yesterday struggled because she ate something which she couldn't digest, but because she liked it, she just ate more than she can digest. And like whole evening suffering just because of one little some taste bud. Right? So it's like this, it's we are so attached. We are so attached to these things. We are just driven. So one is repeated hearing. Certain things we will transcend by just repeated hearing also. But certain things, other things, we might not. Yeah, Shruti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu, we just discussed that suffering will help us, to remember the Lord. There are few people whom I have been seeing in my life that even after suffering, like continuous sufferings, they don't even utter the word God.
Yeah, but because they are far, I mean, they're not devotees. I am specifically talking about devotees, right? Who have come to Krishna, who are chanting Hare Krishna, right? But still, we have material attachments for those. Then there are others who are like very impious jivas who cannot remember Supreme Lord. So that is why Krishna says 4 types of Sukrutino Arjuna, Artho Artharthi Jignasu Gnani. Yeah, if he is Sukruti, if he is a pious soul, only then he will come to Krishna when he is suffering.
Okay.
Otherwise, they'll go away from Krishna only. They'll become atheists. They'll say, anyway, there's no God. Why there has to be so much suffering? That's not for such people. I'm only specifically right now talking about devotees.
Devotees. Okay, Prabhu.
And also, when I'm saying, you please have to hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not that it will give us remembrance of Krishna. That's not what I said. What did I say? When suffering happens, what happens to us? How is it going to help us? Why did I say we should go through suffering? How will suffering help us?
Realizations, Prabhu.
No. What did I say? Why did I say? What is the context?
Attachment to the body.
Yeah, attachment to
Body.
matter, to body. So I didn't talk about remembrance of Krishna. So please, when you're hearing, you have to hear only whatever is being said. Right? We should not extrapolate. Of course, it results in remembrance of Krishna, but here, more importantly, the topic I was discussing is saying that, when there are suffering, it helps us to realize that we are not the body. It pushes us beyond this attachment to the material. That is the point.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay. That's one. Yeah, Shashank.
Prabhu, same one question, Prabhu. So in one of the purport, Prabhupada writes like if we follow Guru Parampara Acharya's instruction, then we'll soon realize that like we are not this body and soul.
Yeah, if we are able to follow it exactly, right? But like I said, only that works in 2 cases. One is that works in some aspects of our attachment. Some aspects of our attachment go away. For example, we heard that we should not drink tea, coffee. Now, yeah, we just left it, right?
Yeah.
Now that attachment, yeah, but some take so much time to even just leave that attachment, right? So for different jivas, they are different. These instructions, some can accept it more easily than others.
Okay.
But
Okay, Prabhu.
what is the most powerful process is when somebody is stuck, right, and they're not able to make any progress, right? Then suffering can actually help them because they'll be forced to understand that they're not the body, right? But yeah, that's very difficult. It's not for everybody. I'm just saying prolonged suffering. Some of us we've been going through. So which is actually not bad. I mean, we should not think that I'm so unfortunate. No, super fortunate. Like that. Yeah. Who else raised
Okay.
hand?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yeah, Vamshi Prabhu.
Prabhu, you mentioned like more sufferings will also lead to not we being in the bodily consciousness. I'm just trying to think of one more realization of our yatra, what we did right in Ahobilam, when we were all climbing up to Ugrastamba, right? So I guess over there nobody was bodily consciousness. I mean, there was bodily consciousness, like how difficult it is, or whether will I do it or no. That never came to anybody's thought, I guess.
No, it
So
would have come. For example, I mean, my body was pretty broken. I mean, I had that consciousness that my body is giving trouble, but the idea that okay, we should go there and that this service should be completed, it'll please Lord
yes,
Narasimha
yes,
Dev was
yeah,
driving, and that is
that
the
was the thing.
other thing that I keep saying, right? I mean, but will we always throughout our life take up some things which are beyond us? This is the whole point
Wow.
about going beyond our comfort zone, right?
Correct.
Now,
Yeah.
even when you take something which is pushing you to beyond comfort zone, you will still go through some suffering,
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
right? But that suffering
Yeah.
will have a higher cause, so we might just not pay attention. So yeah, good point actually. Thanks for bringing that up. So either we can one of these routes or both of them together. Some
Hmm.
cases becomes like a very powerful
Yeah.
process to pull us out. But otherwise, we are just so attached. We're just so attached, right? So we have to be very careful, I mean, um, Prabhupada said that even a iota of attachment to anything, he said even if you're attached to a jamun, you'll have to come back, right? So even if it is prasadam, people, devotees also say this, saying that, oh, no, that's only prasadam, no? It's prasadam, but your attachment is not, your attachment is attachment. It is of the tongue, it is of the body, right? So it's okay. It's much better than getting attached to something else. But still, yuktahara viharasya. Still, we have to remain detached from anything. For example, wanting to eat nice food, simple, right? Yeah, we are eating only prasadam. Of course, I mean, those who are not eating, who are eating non-prasadam, please stop. Okay, I mean, if at all you are eating non-prasadam, because it's just killing. All the chanting, whatever you're doing, nothing will work really, because your consciousness will become so low that your chanting will also not be good. So of course we should stop eating, bakery, bread and this and that. I know so many devotees are attached to all these things. Okay, but okay, even if you're attached to prasadam or you're attached to eating more, it's not good. It's not good. It's not going to help us achieve Krishna.
Prabhu,
Right?
but it is prasadam is Krishna.
Yeah, then you should accept whatever comes to your plate. Then you should accept only how much ever is required. That is devotee. Devotee means that, okay, whatever comes in on the plate without speaking a word, you should honor it. It's a matter of honoring, not like, gratifying our senses. See, because somebody who is eating with that desire, no, they still have the desire. It's still not purified. See, we should reach a stage. Again, I mean, we are only talking about pure devotional service here. If somebody is not wanting pure devotional service, these classes will be like a pain, it's like torture. Because people want to enjoy in the name of bhakti, people want to enjoy. No, these classes are not for them, which is why the head count in this class doesn't go beyond 20-25, right? Because, I mean, people might come 1 or 2 classes, they can't digest. It's too heavy. But it has to be like this if you want Krishna. The point is we should not have any attachment. You know what we should have attachment? Okay, you tell me now. Considering prasadam, what kind of attachment we can have to prasadam, which will actually take us back? You're talking about attachment to prasadam, no? I know Shashank Prabhu, you're attached to prasadam. Now you tell me,
Yeah,
what
Prabhu.
kind of attachment we should have to prasadam, which will ensure that we will go back to Krishna?
So whatever we have, like, should be connected. Like we should have a mood when we are having prasadam. It's Krishna mercy.
Think
The mood.
one step before. Think one step before. One step before honoring prasadam.
As you said, whatever it comes, Prabhu, same thing.
If we have the consciousness of how can I make and offer the best prasadam to Krishna, that will take us back. Just
Sorry,
think.
Prabhu. Like, can
If
you
you are in
repeat?
the consciousness of how can I make the best, tastiest bhoga for Krishna,
Okay.
that will take us back. That prasadam attachment, food attachment, or whatever you want to call it, will take us back. Not if we want to enjoy it ourselves. Now you, you tell me,
Okay.
saying that, when we have the prasadam in front of our plate, do we even think saying that is Krishna like this?
Correct, Prabhu.
Right?
Yeah.
So that means that we are just thinking about ourselves. We're just thinking about our own tongue. And for those who are attached to your tongue, like I gave my example of my mother, right? She, of course, she eats some non-prasadam, but not like, she wants to eat onion, garlic and all that. No, I mean, sometimes she goes to some sisters or something, she eats something which might be non-prasadam. But problem is because she's attached to her tongue, she just can't control how much she eats. and it's troubling her at this age. Why? Because all throughout her life, nobody told her to control. It's not that she spoiled her health eating things, but now today in her old age, I can see that it is giving her so much trouble. She can't take some medicines because they're not tasting nice. Ayurvedic medicine, some she has to chew. In her mouth, she has to take the juice, and she's saying, "Oh, how horrible medicine it is." What is horrible? It's just a different taste. That's all, right? I'm seeing live in front of me. Attachment to food, attachment to taste, can also become a deterrent, right? Anyway, so the point is that positive attachment is the best, okay, which means trying to do something for the pleasure of Krishna, going above and beyond above our abilities, beyond our comfort zone, is one way to transcend bodily conception. The other way to transcend bodily conception is to actually just go through suffering, right, or a combination.
Prabhu, one question I have.
Mm-hmm.
So
See,
you
I'm
met.
talking about food. So many, like everybody's become active. Huh? Tell me.
Yeah,
So
Prabhu.
yeah, you mentioned about having that best consciousness to serve to serve Krishna and then have it, right? So I'm just thinking aloud what happens in our daily life. So Shruti asked me, like, tomorrow what do we want
What
to
do you
cook?
want? Yeah, Vamshi will say,
Yeah,
this what I want.
yeah. So
Yeah.
our Krishna says that let's do this. So like
Krishna, where is
that.
Manjari? Okay, I thought like where Krishna
Manjari.
came. Okay, yeah.
So the
So you know
drive
what,
to
Shruti
action.
Mataji is protecting herself by asking you, right? Now you're the culprit.
Culprit now.
Yeah,
So now drive to action is, I think things are getting through a desire that okay, let's have this food. So that is being cooked and then offered and then taken. Right. So
yeah.
still
So
there is a
now,
desire towards
we'll
yeah.
push. We'll put some pressure on Shruti Mataji. From tomorrow, when she asks, you just say whatever you want, you cook.
Okay. That I keep telling her. So to
Yeah,
stay neutral. Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
But
Got
now
it.
Shruti Mataji has to figure out. No, Mataji is actually why I'm. See, this is so important. If Mataji's consciousness in everybody's house, right? If Mataji's consciousness is okay, I'm going to cook today this for Krishna's pleasure, the whole house will become Vaikuntha. Just that consciousness is so powerful that instead of thinking like saying, what can I eat to gratify myself? If you can think, what can it's very difficult. It's very difficult. It's not easy, but I'm just saying that can be very powerful absorption. What can I cook today that can please Krishna? Or even whatever it is, maybe just whatever we are cooking, still with that consciousness, saying that, can it be such that Krishna will like it? It will be very powerful.
So this process,
Okay.
if we regularly follow, we can like
Can't
progress
hear
more,
you,
Prabhu.
Krishna
Then like
Prabhu.
it is
I
like
couldn't hear
every
you.
day, Prabhu Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah,
Prabhu, if we follow this process, like every day, like first thing, what I can offer for best to Krishna, like
yeah,
forgetting ourselves.
yeah,
So this results in like tremendous progress, as you mentioned. So
yeah.
okay.
This is Krishna consciousness. This is what we are expected to do. We are expected to think about everything that we do, what is going to give pleasure to Krishna. Of course, see, for example, we know good, um, something which is offered. Not, well, of course, one is taste, but one with love and affection, Krishna affects, right? Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. But also, if it is nicely done, cooked nicely with good taste, also that is adds to that adds because the love for us, not for Krishna. For Krishna, he doesn't. He's not waiting for any of this, right? But when we have this feeling, when we develop this feeling, saying that, oh, this one will be nice, Krishna will like this. That's the mood of love, and that's what is required. It's not that whether Krishna is carried away by the taste, not at all, right? Not at all, right? For him, in anything, even a saltless khichdi, with offered with love, he will accept, right? Like he ate that banana,
Banana, yeah,
skin, right?
yeah.
So he doesn't matter, right? How does it matter to him? It doesn't matter at all. It's only for the benefit of the devotee that we have to do these things, and we have to do this in every aspect of our life. Why only bhoga? Right? Every aspect of our life. We have to think this way, saying that is this can this please Krishna? And that is
And
the
Prabhu,
perfection of Krishna consciousness.
yeah, Prabhu, you had also told one more thing, right? So
Mm.
after Boga is being offered, uh, however it is, we have to have it, right? So
Yeah.
if uh, again, like maybe after it is being taken, like as a prasadam, then maybe salt is less or something is there. So
Salt is the
we
only
do
thing which
know.
what you should do is standard practice for salt is when you are offering bhoga to the Lord, you can also put salt in the plate, right? So and then if salt is less, you can take that as prasadam salt, and you can have it. But if salt is more, what will you do?
Yeah,
And people
but
go ahead
otherwise also,
and
like
adjust.
But it won't be wrong, Prabhu. Like when like we didn't added salt, so whatever.
Why didn't you add salt?
No, like
Prabhupada used to be
unknowing.
so, wild. He said your head is, used to like literally bash devotees, when cooking was not done properly. Said like your consciousness is somewhere else.
Yeah,
Used to like
yeah.
literally like scold devotees when prasadam was made with some mistake, right? So if we have to be conscious, okay, once sometime maybe something happened, okay, fine, but then we'll also go through the same thing. We'll eat without. Sometimes when I'm making bhoga offering, sometimes I forget offering ghee on the rice, and I make sure that I don't accept ghee in my on my plate when I'm honoring prasadam. Let's see, some things we have to realize, saying that I did something which was not right, or I didn't offer something to Krishna. How can I take it?
Okay.
That consciousness has to be there. It's not like, okay, it is very spicy. Only if it is spicy and if it is going to really spoil my system, will I make some adjustment, because otherwise my other services will get affected. But if something is just less not tasty, adjusting the food, I will not adjust. Others, I'll say, okay, you do whatever you want, don't make any adjustment in whatever I'm eating, because that consciousness otherwise will never come, right? Saying that, okay, I am doing it for Krishna, I will always keep thinking I'm doing it for myself only, keep adjusting things. Yeah, Chiranjeev, Prabhu, you had something to say?
What is the punishment for these people who are adulterating lots? Like even in temples, they're adulterating so much these days for saving of not for saving money, but for corruption. No,
That is
in
between
Anna,
them and Krishna. Why we have to be bothered? Let's bother about what we are doing. If we are in that position, we should not do something wrong. That's all. Whoever is doing whatever they are doing, that is between them and Krishna. Of course, if we are in a position of, responsibility, we should not let these such things happen under our authority. That we have to take care. That is our responsibility. Otherwise, some third party person, somebody is doing that, you can sit on a Vyasasana and speak, if in case it can affect people. But we can't go and personally do anything because we don't have the authority there.
thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I'll just complete this purport. Thus, one loses his real remembrance of his position as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And when we think that we are product of material elements, like you are saying, right? Like, okay, food, tasty food, then we forget, oh, I'm part and parcel of Krishna, I'm supposed to be servant. We forget. Just as a man who sleeps forgets himself. In this way, when the activities of proper consciousness are checked, all the activities of the lost soul are performed on a false basis, on the bodily basis. At the present moment, human civilization is acting on a false platform of bodily identification. Therefore, it can be said that the people of the present age have lost their souls. And in this respect, they are no better than animals. So we also have to remember this. We should also not be in this category of lost soul. Okay. Stop here. Anything?
Prabhu, last question. Sorry, Prabhu.
Hmm.
Prabhu, like it is with respect to prasadam only. Say, for example, in my plate, after I get prasadam, like palav or paisam or sweet, then if I say sweet is more good, then I'm differentiating palav and sweet, right? So that is also an offense then,
Yeah, I mean, see, mm,
because I'm
yeah,
not treating equally, because both are mercy of Krishna then, right? No,
yeah,
Prabhu.
yeah. See, yeah, like I said, see, this is a very high caliber of consciousness. Okay, so if we can get there, that is ideal. Okay, but remember one thing, right? For everybody who maybe got discouraged with whatever I said, see, if our current position is we cannot raise ourselves above, that's fine. But let's at least stick to prasadam and not eat non-prasadam. Number one. Number two, at least over years, as we make practice progress in Krishna consciousness, we should remember that this is also an aspect, right? That I should see prasadam as mercy of Krishna and not for my sense gratification. We can keep that as an area for improvement and eventually work on it sometime.
Okay.
It's not, what should I say? I mean, it's not mm, it's not a hopeless situation if you are attached to prasadam. It's not at all a hopeless situation. It's very good. It will make sure that we don't eat non-prasadam, right? And then as
Yeah.
we make progress, we can move ahead from even this position to saying that okay, no, this I have to see this as prasadam, as mercy of Krishna. Why am I seeing it for my sense gratification? We should come to that stage slowly, steadily.
Okay, Prabhu. Yeah.
Like I said, this all these discussions, whatever we are having here, is to come to the stage of pure devotion. Right? It's not easy, but it's easy. If you want Krishna, then it's easy. If you don't want Krishna and we want all these other things, then it becomes difficult. Right? So just patiently, just we should wait. Continuous hearing will make us more strong, and we will be able to try and follow these things as we make progress. क्या
Okay,
मंत्र माता जी?
Hare Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhu.
Oh, I was reading today morning from CC.
Hmm.
There is when Raghunath Das Goswami joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu
Yeah.
in Puri,
Hmm.
then he used to invite
Yeah, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 2 years actually.
Yeah.
And when his father sent that money from that money,
Hmm.
so that suddenly he stopped actually.
Yeah.
Then Mahaprabhu asked Swarup Damodar why he stopped
Correct.
me actually asking,
Hmm.
inviting me.
Hmm.
Because Swarup Damodar Prabhu used to read his mind. So he said he's thinking this money has come from materialistic father.
Yeah.
So your conscience won't allow because he is inviting for that prayer, you are coming.
Correct.
But you are not. So how to understand this now in our situation, in temple situation and like that
Oh, yeah.
situation?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, for brahmacharis especially, right? Those who are regularly eating food in the temple, because temple gets donations, etc., right? Which might not be earned in the best of ways. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's, I've heard this rule was that brahmacharis have to chant 64 rounds to overcome the contamination from the source of earning. Um, but yeah, for those who are maybe um, see, because the whole point here is about raising the consciousness, right? So for somebody who's very spiritually elevated, even little contamination is a lot of contamination. But for us, maybe it just doesn't matter because we're already, drowned in contamination. Which is the reason why, when somebody actually takes Brahmin initiation, if Prabhu is getting Brahmin initiation, wife is also given Brahmin initiation, because he also has to be a Brahmana, and only a Brahmana can eat from another Brahmana, cooked by another Brahmana, right? Because these are higher principles of, purity, etc., right? So I mean, that's also one of the reasons why we don't make, why our progress is slow when we are in Grihastha life. Right? Because whatever we are eating is also not maybe perfectly, prepared with the right consciousness. The earning is also contaminated. And that's the reason why Grihasthas have to offer to Krishna. If Grihasthas don't offer whatever they're earning, like, significant portion of the money that we are earning, we will continue to remain contaminated by our earnings. And that's the reason this whole process is very holistic, right? See, interestingly, Raghunath Das Goswami's father was favorable to Vaishnavism, but he was not a devotee, right? So Raghunath Das Goswami actually realized that and stopped it. So Srila Prabhupada also, he used to go and honor food, not honor actually, just accept food. And he used to go to preach, especially in India, to, big donors or life members, etc. Used to go. He used to accept, but only on the condition that there is some preaching associated. And he says, okay, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will protect that from that contamination. And sometimes he also used to say, you have to take like this, like kacha, something he says, like, can't remember exactly, but like puri, kachori, like that is better than cooked food.
Pakka food. Pakka food.
Pakka food is better than kacha food. Like that. Like, and rice and all is not considered pakka.
Puri, and
Yeah, puri, kachori, like that fried stuff. He used to say that is less contaminating than the others. So like this, so there is clearly contamination. But of course, if somebody is a devotee, then if we are sincerely, at least if not with love, at least vaidhi, if you are sincerely uh, cooking and sincerely offering, Krishna will not accept if there is no love, but Narayana and Lakshmi will accept, and it'll be purifying. But if you are not in any kind of consciousness, if you're not following rules, etc., then it's very, very dangerous. Then we don't even know what we are doing. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Okay. We'll close.
Prabhu,
Srimad.
one question.
Huh.
Having a bias towards prasadam, is that okay to take care of body
Yeah. If it is health reasons, yes.
health risk? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. That's
Yeah. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.